We've talked on the YouTube channel quite a bit about Perfect Dark and this franchise moving forward, a title that we have absolutely wanted to see continued, a IP that I felt, I mean, we haven't heard anything about Perfect Dark since 2010, guys. It's been 10 years, and then all of a sudden, finally, it felt like another title that we were talking about here on the YouTube channel. You guys can check out all of my Perfect Dark content here. But after, talking about Perfect Dark for quite some time, it seems that we are finally going to be getting the long-awaited reboot of Perfect Dark coming to us from Microsoft Studio. The Initiative, which is incredibly exciting, guys. And I want to talk about all the things that we want out of Perfect Dark in this reboot. And obviously, guys, these are going to be my opinions of the things that we want out of the Perfect Dark reboot. I would love to hear what you guys think in the comment section down below, whether you agree or disagree with the things that I want in the Perfect Dark reboot. So let's talk about it. So obviously, guys, the Initiative is a new studio that was created by Microsoft to helm the Perfect Dark title. The Coalition, the ones who work on Gears of War, are also helping out with Perfect Dark, which leads me to believe that Perfect Dark is going to be a full package here. The Perfect Dark reboot will be a full-blown single-player campaign. It'll have multiplayer modes and co-op modes, which is absolutely what I'm hoping for, guys. I think this is a title that deserves that. Perfect Dark needs to be a full package, in my personal opinion. I think that they definitely have something here with Perfect Dark. I mean, as a franchise, it's done very well over time, guys. I mean, this title dates back to 2000, back on the N64. And so what I'm getting at here is this is a title that deserves to be a full package, and that's the first thing that I want to see is a full package out of Perfect Dark in this reboot. So a full-blown multiplayer, single-player modes, of course that being like a campaign, and co-op modes as well. It brings you back to the experience after beating the single-player story, which is what a lot of us are going to want to play. Will be the Perfect Dark single-player experience, but you also want to have other ways to connect with the title, that being multiplayer and co-op modes. The next thing for me, guys, is I want to see similarities, but certainly differences from the previous Perfect Dark games. So what I'm getting at with that is obviously we want to have some of the similar characters, that return from the Perfect Dark universe, which is pretty obvious. We're going to obviously have some returning characters, but I want to also have a real strong emphasis on new characters, new enemies, new environments, new locations that we're exploring. I think that that's really important with Perfect Dark and this reboot, is that there's similarities to the previous Perfect Dark titles, kind of like a kudos or a nod to the past, but also looking forward to, new characters and new environments, new locations. You certainly want there to be those similarities where it feels like a Perfect Dark title, but you definitely want there to be differences, things that you can kind of latch onto that make this its own title. And I think that's exactly what's going to happen, guys, here with the Initiative taking the helm here with the Perfect Dark reboot. For me, guys, there's been a lot of talk from the community what this game's all going to encompass. Another thing that really leads, for me at least, I really want to see this Perfect Dark reboot have a open world kind of scenario. Semi-open world would be fine as well. Something where we're really able to move into this living, breathing place in the single player story and explore, really get that feel, that full immersion, make this Perfect Dark universe a living, breathing place that we can go to in this game and be able to explore somewhat. I'm kind of getting at, the Coalition's working with the Initiative, and the Coalition, coming off of Gears 5, did and teased this semi-open world scenario in Gears 5, which was semi-open world, and I loved the concept there, even though it was very, pretty bare bones when it came to the experience, but it was still awesome being able to explore a little bit. Having that in the Perfect Dark reboot, I think, would be really great for this title. Being able to explore somewhat on your off time, having, side missions and things of that nature could be really great as well. And that leads me to the next thing, which, it really comes down to the collectibles and the, different earnable items that you can find within the world or even in the multiplayer. I want to have a number of different modes, guys, where where you can earn things and earn items within the world. In the multiplayer, it'd be great to have earnable items over payable items, like with, monetization and microtransactions and things of that nature. It'd be great to have earnable items within the world that you can show off to your friends, and obviously things that just kind of show how much time you're putting into the game and things of that nature. That kind of really builds community. And for a title that hasn't been around since 2010, guys, or has been in a very much so limbo state, or a state of no return, we're finally going back to Perfect Dark. I think it's really important that you have those earnable items that you can earn within the single player story, co-op modes, and multiplayer. I think that would be absolutely great as well. And, honestly, guys, outside of that, one of the big things for me that I think would be absolutely great would be free-to-play modes. As kind of like a final thought, I mean, having free-to-play modes would be great, like the multiplayer for Perfect Dark. If it were free-to-play, that would be awesome. We're kind of like really experiencing now within the gaming universe so many titles that are multiplayer, that are free-to-play, and I think Perfect Dark as a free-to-play multiplayer experience would be great, or even just free-to-play elements, because when we look at obviously Xbox Game Pass will come into play here. You'll be able to play Perfect Dark if you have the Xbox Game Pass subscription. However, I would love to also see this be free to play for everybody. I just think that having more people being able to play the multiplayer, to check it out, see what it's all about, could really continue building the community for years to come. So similar to like Halo Infinite, how it's going to have free multiplayer, it'd be awesome to have Perfect Dark, have free-to-play multiplayer, and then obviously having the full subscription with Xbox Game Pass, you'll be able to play the rest of the package, that being the single-player modes as well as the co-op modes. That's just my personal opinion, guys, and I would love to hear what you guys all think about Perfect Dark and this reboot and the things that you want to see moving forward. Let me know in the comment section down below. And for more Perfect Dark content and videos, stay here with Zero TV.